Coach, thoughts on the game?
Well, again, I got to start with my appreciation of this community. That's never going to waver. I thought today there was a point where it really got loud and really they're really pulling for us when we cut it to the whole game. They were, but we cut it to 2. I got a few steals in a row. It was really cool to see the engagement, the want, the care. That's what this place is. That's what these guys. They're here because of what this team is doing. And right now, we just haven't had a lot of success the last couple weeks with our losses. But we're a team that's doing historical things, has done historical things, cares about each other, wants it so badly, and it's awesome to see the support from the community to want it as well. And I guarantee it, there's not going to be a second of the rest of the season, off season, that I'm not going to continue to do everything we can to let this place continue to grow like we have grown it the right way. Unfortunately, we had 20 turnovers tonight, okay, and that really hurt us. We didn't guard right towards the end of the first half. We had a chance to go up 2 or take a 1-point lead. We had a 3-on-2 break, turned it over, go back, give up, get a foul. And then next thing you know, it's a 6-point game. We have another turnover right before the half, and we give up a basket with 2.3 seconds, so it's an 8-point lead. Come out of the first media, we battle, cut it to 2, and then right away it went right back to 8 or 10. And those are the kind of things that we can't have on our team right now, in terms of the lack of extending what we just did positively. And I thought that's ultimately what got us at the end of the game. I thought, unfortunately, we just had really bad pass and catch turnovers that led to a couple unguardable baskets, and then just actually we kind of shut down our own run. That's got to be one of our higher turnovers in a while. So I thought that was the game, and that's what the outcome was.
Yeah, and you guys didn't make your first 3 until early in the second half.
Yeah.
You hit 7 in the second half. Just talk about how important the outside shooting is for you guys.
Well, you go in there, you're 7 for 14 in I think we might have been 7 for 8 in the second half, and we got to the line in the first half 18 times. So we had them in the bonus early. That was pointed out to me that I know people don't look at the people on the court aren't supposed to look at that, but they do. So we got to the line 18 times in the first half, which is kind of our MO, getting in there. So I liked our shot selection in the first half. You wanted to capitalize. I think we only made 12 out of 18 maybe, or 12 out of 18. So you need to capitalize at least on 3 or 4 more of those. And then what we did is we started getting back in transition, moving the ball the right way. You have 15 assists. So, in your shots, it's nice to have 15 assists. If you cut your turnovers down to what it should have been to, 11 or 12, which is where we're hovering around most of the time, it's a different ball game because we were sharing the ball, taking the right kind of shots. And I thought it was nice to see Ray have the ball go in, Shamar, in that second half.
When you guys have been giving up a lot of points lately. Mm-hmm. And is that a little bit of the style? Meaning you guys are gamblers a little bit. They're going for the blocks, they're going for the steals. Does that turn into sometimes difficult defensive situations? Yeah,
I would say the block shots is something that we would promote more. The gambles are just, we're just doing it. What you have is it sounds, because we've seen these guys for a few years and we've heard about them for a few years, but we're a young team. I mean, you have Pruitt's a sophomore, Polo's a sophomore, Ray's a sophomore, Curtis is a sophomore, Polk is a sophomore. In terms of being a team together in regards to, we haven't had a lot of that time with the guys I just mentioned collectively together, obviously with Ray out until November, sorry. we're still looking on a few months on a relatively young team. So what happens, I think, is that defensively, there's that want to get a stop. There's a want to, it's like trying to take a bad shot. I know I can go get a basket, and I'm going to go make this basket for my team. There isn't, I'm going to go make this basket for me. We don't have that, and we might take some tough shots, and it might feel like that at times, but we don't have that. I truly think that our guys, want to do well for one another. It's the same thing defensively. At times, unfortunately, we get to that kind of, I'm going to get this stop for this team. I'm going to get it. And when you're struggling a little bit, unfortunately, you take some more of those gambles. You don't just trust the being solid. At the end of the game, we were solid. And then we started getting some stops, got some turnovers, and then unfortunately, the one went off Ray's leg that it was a good drive. I mean, I was going to call timeout, and you take on Rayshon Taylor going to the right side. The kid made a good play. Hit him off his knee. He goes down there. The guy made another block shot that led to the jump ball, which is kind of a freak thing that, they get the jump ball after, so that's kind of what took place. And I thought the guys on the court, the 10 players on the court really performed at a level often that was very competitive. So sometimes that we gambled a little bit because of that. And that's kind of where it was. No, we do not promote the gambles. We do not want it. And I think it's because we want to make a play.
And are your guys, when you get into a thing like this, I guess it's 4 in a row or whatever, they start pressing a little bit, like you said, they want it so bad, they maybe get out of character in terms of how they play a little bit.
Yeah, it's a rain of Pours, right? That's what it says. They said for some reason that someone came up with that a while ago. It's not pouring, all right? It's not even raining. We're just out here. We're playing basketball right now, and we just need to play better right now. And I do think that we are pressing. There's no doubt about that. We're trying to do some things right now, and instead of extending our lead, or chipping away at their lead, we're trying to get it back a little too soon at times through those type of plays. And I thought we settled in the second half, and we've been scoring a little bit as well, but defensively we hadn't made like kind of those big stretch plays down the stretch that we needed to make or in the middle of our runs. And I thought today to cut it to 2, Ray goes down there and the place would have gone nuts, 71-73, and it didn't go our way from that regard.
Yeah, and you guys are down double digits in the second half. Just talk about the guys' resiliency to be, right there. Little Rock, great play away from you guys, tie the game to raise the basket.
No doubt. I mean, Little Rock, they're out there playing, we're both playing for something, okay? They're playing to get in. We're playing for seeding. We're just playing to win a game. We're playing to, I told our guys, this is like a tournament game. It's simple. This affects our tournament. So this is a tournament game from here on out. And, to do what we've done the first time in school history, you get 3 conference tournaments in a row, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you want to go down there and, you got to make the plays that we got to make. And I thought that that play that you referenced about Ray, going right down there and getting the stops that we needed to, and the resiliency we're a resilient team. We're resilient humans. If you know the backstories on most all of our guys, there is a level of resiliency that for them to be here is really something that I take great pride in, the kind of young men they are. And I don't ever anticipate them not fighting. They're up there right now, and we're talking, and they're frustrated. But they're really honest, and they were owning stuff. And it wasn't anything that was, rocket scientists would have to decipher. They were being very truthful to one another and what we needed to do. And it comes down to, ultimately, we have it in us. We care. We want to win. We have won. We are a really good team. So let's get back and do it. And that's what they talked about ultimately. And I think that's why we were resilient in the second half.
Jonathan was so good early. I mean, scores some points, but he's deflecting balls, getting steals. Can you just talk about him a little bit?
I'm a big believer in him, and I know sometimes like with the way the lineup goes, and we ended up going a little bit smaller and faster as of late. I went with the three small guards at one point. Jalen Hodge moved the ball. He only got one shot. We need to get him more shots. But I thought his activity in the high post, denying some things, finishing around or getting fouled around the rim was important for us to get to the line. And I thought his impact, and he's really played, even last weekend, he was impactful. I'm a believer in Jonathan Curtis, and he's a good player, and he cares. He owns it almost too much. Like, he's one of those guys like, no, this is not all on you. He's a high level guy. And it was nice to feel his presence out there today.
And then what about Arnie's performance?
We see him every day, and you look at yourself, and obviously with Terrence out right now, and we're still waiting to kind of figure out some things with him. Arnie has been a guy that is developing every single day, and he's developing because of Jonathan. He's developing because of Terrence. He's Lamar, DP, Pruitt, and the young man in Dorian. I got Dorian Staples, who's a heck of a player too, and he just doesn't have the opportunity as of yet. But Arnie came in there. I mean, he had the block shot he had. I thought he challenged 2 or 3 shots. They have him down for how many blocks? 2 blocks, yeah. And make some free throws. He's going to be very good. And it's hard to get a rotation with the size we had a little bit. But Arnie's been someone that's earned every bit of his opportunity. I'm a huge believer in him. Yeah, huge.
Yeah, I only got one more thing. I don't mean to look too far ahead.
You're all right.
I won't see you on Saturday, so I just got to ask about the tournament a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
How are you guys for the tournament? Is it kind of a chance for you guys to get some redemption of some teams, kind of?
Yeah, I think what it is you're excited about. It's something that's not happened here, where a few weeks ago we're in the tournament. So we already know it, that's we're usually, going down to the last couple minutes, or we're looking at a tiebreaker in the past, especially those two, the resiliency of the years that we were playing so many games in a short amount of time. I think that there's an excitement of what we know we can do. Now, there's other teams that can do it. There's no doubt about that. And it's a fine line right now when you're going, okay, if we go there and we can go win, beat a team that we lost to, or get them again, or a team that we split with, redemption, opportunity. At the end of the day, you're 2 or 3 games away from, something really special. And we've put ourselves in that position. We know that. But we have a huge game on Saturday where I think it's going to be, we're going to be ready for it. And we want to get back on the court to then go into next week. But we're not looking forward to it, looking towards it, or ahead of it, or whatever the right word would be. I understand your question. But I also, I'm not going to be naive that we're not going to be there, because we are. Because we've earned it.
And that's something to take pride in. You guys are there, you're there.
You got some tough times right now, right? In terms of basketball. And it's funny, unfortunately, I just talked about it with the guys. Two words of toughness come across right now. And we've earned, and I have great pride in what this program has done over the years the right way. How we have grown, how the community has backed it, how our players have developed, how our academics are off the charts. All of that stuff that we have done. Yeah, of course I'm selling our guys because they deserve it. I believe in them. I'm never going to take an accomplishment away from them. These guys earn the accomplishments to be acknowledged. Right now, we are kind of being judged against ourselves, which is pretty cool when it's all said and done. It's also got to be realistic, and it's a lot of unique, different pressure than these guys have experienced. But when you come across the word toughness, and there's so many ways you look at it. Are you tough, or is it a tough time? I was, unfortunately, I lost my mom in October, and the day before I lost her, she kind of looked at me and was very weak and said, this year's going to be tough. And, of course, I'm sitting there thinking it's gonna be tough. I'm losing you, Mom, and I don't think she meant it like that. And I shared that with our guys. I said, I think she was saying, like, it's going to be tough. There's going to be some ups and downs, basketball-wise, because she knows that was our passion. She wasn't going to make it about her. She never did. And she wanted to, but also kind of, it's about us. It's going to be tough. And I take that as a positive, too. Like, Brian, it's going to be tough. And I sit there, I'm like, it's tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I'm missing you. We're going to have some ups and downs. That's tough. But also having success is tough. And owning that toughness is a good thing. I looked at it as a positive. So in her infinite wisdom, I think she's got my head spinning a few months later, ultimately talking about, Brian, you better be tough because it's going to be tough. And it's such a cool way to look at the same word two different ways. And Trev Alberts once said, when I was at Indiana, I just shared this with the team as well, up in Purdue. We were playing Purdue at Indiana, and he came in here and said, toughness is a choice to choose toughness. Toughness is a choice. Choose toughness. It's a heck of a saying. You have a choice to be tough. And that's the positive version of the word that I think, that last day that my mom was kind of leaving me with too. So not to be sentimental or sad, but you know what you do? You look at everything you do. You play for the people that you love. And I love those guys up there, and they love each other. So let's go choose toughness, because times are going to be tough, but we're going to be pretty tough too.
Kind of the same question, Brian. If you rolled back in August and said, last weekend of the season, you're guaranteed to be in the tournament, you're going to have 17 wins. I don't know, you would have taken it, right? I mean, looking, you would have said, great, we're setting records this year. I mean, it's, like you said, you're being judged against yourself.
Yep.
You're being judged against your early success. And so it's kind of a weird, ironic twist of how this looks right now.
I mean, if you go 2-2, 2-2, 2-2, 2-2, 2-3, that's where we are. And we're probably not feeling kind of like this right now today. But I want to be judged against what we've done. I want to be judged, we've worked really hard through some crazy times, a lot of change, a lot of injuries. We've had major knee injuries, 4 or 5 over the years. And we just keep on top of other ones. And we have injuries this year. We have guys that, we have 2 or 3 guys out right now. So, yeah, I mean, you look at it, if something, that's the nice way of trying to make me feel good, so I appreciate it. If someone says, hey, you're going to break all these records and you're going to be judged against yourself, heck yeah, I want to be judged against myself, because I believe in what we are doing. And I believe it's going to continue to grow. There's no doubt about it. All right, I get all my coaching friends and all what you guys are doing, I get that. That's cool. I appreciate it. All right, but these guys, we got more in our tank. And there's no doubt that I'm a huge believer in this group of guys. And I can't wait to get back at it tomorrow afternoon with them. And they actually, they'll show up tomorrow, and they'll bring it tomorrow, all right, just like they have all year. And I was pretty darn lucky. That's really lucky to be able to do something you love with a bunch of people that you love. I mean, come on. I know I'm getting sentimental at the end of this thing, but at the end of the day, that's why the community's supporting us. That's why we want to support the community. They deserve. Not the other teams don't, but I know we do. I know what we have done. And we do it the right way, with the right kind of guy. So yeah, it's nice to break records, but let's break a couple more.
Thanks.
Thanks.